Make sure to check out today's sponsor, Blazing Boost, one of the most reliable boosting services for Destiny. They do trials, raids, anything like that, even do your pinnacle weapons if you guys still haven't got them, and they do have the cheapest prices around. They also have a 5-star review, and it's really good, and it's definitely one you should check out. There'll be a link in the description. With that done, let's jump straight back to the video. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to actually be doing a tier list. Now, I've not done anything like this in the past, but I saw it on Patty Cakes' channel, so I'm going to leave a link in the description to his channel, and he's gone over these weapons in detail and sort of put them in a ranking list. And to be honest, it was a really good video, so I'd recommend checking his out after, but I thought I'd copy that and sort of make my own list. Now, he does his on keyboard and mouse, and you guys know I am obviously a controller player, so a lot of my options will be different to his. So we've got every exotic, and basically what we're going to be doing is putting them in a list. So we've got S, A, B, C, D, F. Pretty much the higher they are listed, the better the weapon is. So S is going to be obviously your god tier weapons, the best in the game, and we're going to sort of see pretty much whether all these weapons, now a lot of them are going to be crap, but it'll be interesting to see sort of what you guys agree on, what you guys disagree with me on. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So the first one we do have is the Ace of Spades. Now the Ace of Spades is, I've said before, is a really underrated hand cannon. Now the only thing that lets it down is obviously it's a 140, and I feel once you get that momentum more, it's probably the best hand cannon in the game. So for me, I'm hovering between A and B. I think I'm going to put it in B for now. Like I said, we can change it as always at the end, but I'm going to rank this in B. Now I just want to clarify, this is PvP only. If you guys want me to make a PvE tier list, then I can do. But obviously the Anarchy in PvP, not the best sort of gun. Now, Arbalist. Now this is going to vary. On console this thing's so broken. I mean on PC it's still good. But for the reason that obviously I'm using a control and the aim assist, that sort of thing, I'm going to have to put it in a B. Now it is tempting to drop it down to C, but I think after the clips we hit on Xbox, and this thing on Xbox is crazy, so I think I do have to put it in B. Bad Juju, to be honest, just sort of an okay weapon, I'd say. Nothing too special. I'd put it in, it's either going to be a C or D. Like I said, we can always discuss in the comments what you guys think also, but for me, I think I'm going to put it in the D. Not the best pulse and that. Now the Black Talon, for pretty much heavy weapons, this thing is okay for PvP. So I'm going to put it in the D, definitely better than the Anarchy. Borealis, it's going to have to be a D again. Not the best sort of heavy weapon in the game. Cerberus, it's got to be an F. It's got to be an F. Such a bad gun in my opinion. Now this, where should I rank this? I think this is going to be another F, to be honest guys. Not a good weapon at all. Crimson. Now Crimson, this may come to shock most of you. I know a lot of people rave on about the Crimson and say it's a really good gun, but for me, I'd have to put it C tier. Now that is going to shock a lot of people. I put the Ace of Spades above it, but to be honest, the Crimson's just not a gun for me. Like I said, this is my personal opinion. You can always discuss it in the comment section and what you guys, we're not going to agree on 100% of these weapons. Dorsey, just in PvP, like, it's okay, like, it's nothing special, really isn't one you should be running. Same with this, we're not going to put that any higher. Eriana's in PvP can be quite good actually, it can be decent, but then again, is it worth running that over a sniper and a shotgun? And I'd have to say no, so we are going to put it in the D tier. Now Fighting Lion, really underrated weapon actually, and it is one that I've seen a lot of people use. You can use it with an hand cannon and it can be quite effective, so I'm going to put it in the C tier, plus it's only primary. Graviton Lance, Is this better than the Bad Juju? Probably. I don't know. I wouldn't say any more. This thing used to be good, but we're going to put it in the D tier. Hard Light, it's a 600. This thing would have been S tier before the nerf. Now it's more like an A tier, I would say. But obviously, at the time of making this video, this is when 600s are super overpowered. So if you see this video in the future, then obviously a lot of things will have changed. Izanagi's, now, to be fair, it can be used. Like, I've seen a lot of people use it. I've got to put it higher than obviously the heavy weapons, that sort of thing. I'd say it's... I'd have to go D. Like, it's usable, but I don't think it's in this sort of category. Jotun, I mean, a lot of people use it. It is an annoying gun, but is it a good gun? It's pretty good, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to put it in B tier. Now, this, that's just... where do I want to put this? I wouldn't say it's a bad heavy weapon. Like, it's a usable one. We'll put it in D. We've got a lot in D, just sort of because of the heavy weapons and that. This is going to be an F. What's that? Leviathan's Breath. I'd say it's an F for this. PvP Load of Wolves. Now, it used to be really good. I've seen it drop off a little bit. So, I am going to put it in the C tier. Just in the middle ground, I think's fair. Lumina. Don't see a lot of these running sort of about. No one's really rocking the Lumina. It's just that average hand cannon. There's better options. I'd even say the Ace of Spades is better than the Lumina, in my personal opinion. Malfeasance. Honestly, an underrated hand cannon, and I made a video on this and it did quite well. It was, to be honest, I'd put it C. I can't say it's as good as the Ace of Spades, to be honest. Merciless, I don't think I've seen this in years, to be honest. Not going to lie, that's going to be an F. Mida. Now, this one is kind of difficult because this has always been a god tier PvP weapon. At the minute, is it S? I don't think we can put it S. I think it has to go in the A slot. Scout rifles just aren't the best at the minute. Monte Carlo, I'd put that as an A tier as well. 1000 Voices. Now, this can be quite overpowered. Now, out of the heavy weapons, it's not that bad. So I'm going to put it a little bit higher up. I'm going to rearrange all these after as well, guys, so don't worry. Outbreak Perfected. Now, this is our first pulse rifle. And honestly, it's a B. I'd say it's B, definitely. It's above average, but I wouldn't put it in that A tier, personally. Polaris Lance. I'm not a fan, to be honest, so I'm going to put it in D. And then I'm going to put this also in D. Got a lot of Ds. Rat King, definitely a C. This thing melts. If you're all running it as well, especially on console, I've come across a lot of teams just running this, and it can be really overpowered. Wrist Runner, I'm going to have to put it in an F. For PvP, it's not that good. That is an F. Get out of my sight. Sleeper, for it. Now, you've got to remember this is all weapons, so for a heavy sort of slot, definitely, I'd say C tier. I wouldn't choose it that often. Sturm, definitely a... Now, it can be good with Warlock, so it can be quite difficult. I'd put it... For the fact you have to use it on certain characters, I'm going to put it in the F. Sunshot, brilliant weapon. I'd put it in B. I wouldn't put it in that A category, but I'd definitely put it in B. I think we've got our first S tier. This thing is crazy. The Suros, until this gets nerfed, this is definitely the best exotic to use in PvP. Now, a lot of people will hate me saying that, but it's just the truth, guys. If you want to get a gun that's going to kill someone the best, Suros is definitely the gun to choose. Sweet Business, I've seen a few people use it, and to be honest, it's not terrible. It's actually usable, so I'll put it in. Is it good enough for C? We'll put it in D, we can always change it later on. Taraba, honestly, I hate that weapon. Telesto's got a B. It's between A and B. This thing can be so overpowered if the right person is using it. So I'm going to put it in A, to be honest. If you've got a good person using it that knows how to use it well, it can definitely sort of change the game. Chaperone, for an exotic shotgun, definitely the best. And it's definitely one I'd put B tier. I wouldn't put A tier, just because it's not that hard to use and it's not as good, personally, as a legendary shotgun to run. Colony, this thing is super good. For a heavy weapon, it's definitely A tier. Huckleberry, that's gotta be, like, these SMGs are struggling at the minute. Jade Rabbit, a lot of people rave on about how good it is at range, but for me, definitely D. Nothing special about it. Now, last word, because I am on controller, guys, definitely A tier. It's close to being S, but I think a lot of people get pissed off if I put it S, because obviously on keyboard this thing isn't good and probably is like a D or a C. But if using a controller, definitely a high end. That is an F. Queen Breakers, I'd put as a C. Decent little weapon, not the best, but obviously it can be used. This Wardcliff, God tier, absolute. This, if you're not running this in trials, then you're just missing out on obviously free kills. It's a pretty much guaranteed kill if you aim it in the right direction. Definitely the best exotic for PvP, no doubt about it. Thorn. Now for hand cannons, exotic, it's gotta be on it. I'm gonna put it in S tier. This with Soul Devourer, and I've been using this on keyboard because obviously I've been learning it and you guys love that video, so I'll try and make a part 2. But this thing on keyboard and controller with that Soul Devourer, you're not beating it with that Soul Devourer. Definitely the best hand cannon, exotic wise, personally. Thunderlord, I'd have to put in A tier just because of how good it is as an exotic heavy weapon. Tractor Cannon is probably a C. Like, you can get a lot of kills with it and it's not that bad. See, bows. Now, a lot of people don't mind bows, but for me, they're not really optional in PvP. Now, the truth, what should I put that at? I'd put it at C. It's an okay weapon, nowhere near as good as the Wardcliff. Two-tailed Fox, I'd put that in D for PvP. V-Wing. Now, I've been using this a lot recently and I'm going to make a video on this, guys. But I honestly think the V-Wing has to go S tier. This thing doesn't move on keyboard, controller, it's stable, and it can 2-burst. And I'm going to make a video in depth on this weapon. But trust me, try it out. It is so overpowered and it's definitely a gun everyone has been sleeping on for a while. The next one, Wave Splitter. This is not bad. Personally, that is not a bad sort of weapon. It's a fun weapon to use and you can get quite a few kills with it. Whisper is a D, just because it's an exotic. That bow, to be honest, it's an F. I wouldn't use it. Sword, not the best sword. Black Talon's a lot better than that. Xenophage, I'd put that B. As a heavy weapon, I would put it B. Bastion, we know this thing on console melts, so we are going to put it as a B. I don't think it can go in A. Maybe it could. If I still played console consistently, it'd probably be an S, to be honest, because this thing is crazy on console, but PC it is slacking a little bit. Devil's Ruin, definitely a C. Like, it's a good weapon, good overall weapon. Symmetry, now, is it on the same tier as the Mida? I don't think you can put it on the same tier, but it's definitely up there, so I'd put it as B. Fourth Horseman, garbage, absolute shite. Don't bother using that. Oh, this thing here, Tommy's Matchbook, that's another F in my opinion. This, to be honest, I can't really make a comment on this. It's just from what I've seen because I didn't bother to get it. But this thing, a lot of people, for a heavy weapon, I'd definitely put it B. Like, it's a good sort of PvP heavy weapon. This thing, like I said, I've not really used it. These are the sort of new PvP weapons, so I haven't got them all. I don't even think I've seen this. So I'll just put it C because I don't know what that is. Witherhoard on PvP, definitely a D. Wouldn't put it C, it's not that good. And then this, I'm presuming, I don't even know what these last two are, but I think they're okay, so I'll just put them C. Now, we need to go over the tier list. So, Suros definitely the best, then I'd go Thorn and obviously V-Wing, because that's a heavy weapon. Now, this category here, what do I want? So, the Monte Carlo probably is better. Actually, I put the last word above the Monte Carlo. And then, what else have we got? Telesto. I'd put Thunderlord above that. That's pretty okay. And then for this one, I want the Symmetry ranked higher. I want the Bastion ranked higher than that. And the Jotun dropping below the Bastion. And I think that is a good little tier list for B. Now C can be quite difficult. Got quite a few good weapons in here. But for me, I'd prefer the Lumina and the Malfeasance over the Crimson, to be honest. My personal opinion. That is what I'd put as C tier. Now D tier, like I said, it's hard to rank all these weapons for PvP because obviously a lot are heavy weapons and in different scenarios they're good, but for PvP they're not. But that's pretty much it. I'm happy with that tier list. Let me know what you guys would change. And if you guys want me to make a PvE version, because obviously this will change completely. A lot of the S tiers will be in F, and a lot of the F tiers will be in S. So let me know if you guys did enjoy this sort of video, and it was just a good one to sort of see what we would rank, that sort of thing. But as always, if you are new, remember to subscribe, drop a like, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.